The first question is asking you to find the probability of getting 2 heads when a coin is tossed 7 times, and they're saying that the coin is biased, and so it will land heads on 0.18 or 18% of the time. And so if you think about it, so you're going to flip the coin 7 times, and you could start off as heads, and then the other 5 times need to be tails, or we'd have heads, tails, heads, then the other 4 times need to be tails. And so there's lots of combinations that would have exactly 2 heads. And so when we write our probability statement, what we're really going to find out is, so what's the probability that the event, obtaining a head, is exactly twice. And when we write 7 over 2, what this is calculating is all of these different combinations. And so this will be some number. And then however many combinations there are, what you have to realize is the total probability here would be 0.18 times 0.18 times then 0.82, the probability of giving a tail, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And so I'm just going to say that would be to the 5th power. So that's what we're writing next, is that the probability of what it is that we want, a head, is 0.18. And that's going to happen twice. And so we multiply it to the 2nd power. And then we need it not to happen 5 times. And that is 0.82 of a chance 5 times. And so to calculate this probability, this is what we're actually calculating. And fortunately, our calculator has this programmed in so that we just need to tell it the number of times that we're flipping the coin, what's the chance of us getting a heads, and how many times do we want that to happen. And so then we work that out on our calculator. We get the answer that it's 0.252, which is about 25%. And so there's part A of question 1. And part B, they're asking you to find the probability of obtaining at least 2 heads. And so what we're saying is that was the probability that getting a heads will be at least, so greater than or equal to 2 heads. You could also just say that this is what's the probability that you have more than 1 head. And I'll go up here. It's the sum of all of these probabilities of x equaling 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but we're just going to call it I. And now here we're going to say that I starts at 2 and goes up to 7. And that this is just the notation of what we're going to actually do on our calculator. And so once we work that out on our calculator, we find out that this probability is equal to 0.368.